Dear God in heaven, thank you for today's day. Thank you for the daily blessings. May you please be with us as we're about to start this presentation. I pray for understanding, that you be with each and every one of us. I pray all this in Christ's name. Amen. Greetings once more. Hope you're all well. So I have 3 presentations with you. One today, 2 tomorrow. And I want my presentations to be interactive. And so I welcome comments, questions, and additions. As for this presentation, I have something written on the board. I want to ask you the following question. I'm going to read this statement here. And I want you to tell me what's wrong with this statement. As of today, it will henceforth be official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 Sorry, technical issues. Okay. I'll read the statement again. It says, as of today, it will henceforth be official policy of the United States government that there are only 2 genders, male and female. My question is, what's wrong with this statement? And let's just give a bit of a context. We can guess, but this was in the news. Who said this? Anyone? Yes, Strength. The back. Okay.
Donald Trump.
Okay, Sheng Sue said Donald Trump. It's okay. And yeah, this was said by Donald Trump at the 20th of January during his speech when he was coming to office. So my question is, I'm repeating it. What's wrong with this statement? Hence, do you see anything wrong with this statement? Stringsiwe.
He's only recognizing only 2 genders.
Okay. She said it's okay. So He's only introducing two genders. Anyone else? What is wrong with this statement? Milton.
Okay, so this statement, it's now reversing, I can say, the progress which have been made in terms of gender equality in the United States. Should I repeat? Okay, so this statement, it shows that there's going to be a reverse of the progress that have been made in terms of gender equality in the United States.
Okay. Is this correct? Anyone else? I've not gotten what I want. I've not gotten what I want. There's something in the wording. What is wrong with the statement?
If I see that, it says it's official policy, and I don't know if they made it official policy.
So you're noting the official policy. Okay. Anyone else? That's not the answer that I want. Look at the wording. A clue? The problem is in the last two sentences. Okay. Where it says the United States government and then the rest, the problem is there. That there are only two genders, male and female. The problem is there. What is the problem? Erica.
It's again what President Trump does. Is fighting against science, and it's not true.
Erica, you said fighting against science. What do you mean?
It has been scientifically proven that there can be more.
Wait.
That there can be more than one or two genders.
So I'm just going to help you. Still not what I want. I'm going to help you. This statement has various problematic factors. But the main one that I want to talk about which we fail to identify. It's how it puts sex and gender in the same box. It's making sex and gender the same thing. They're not the same. They are two distinct concepts. That statement is fundamentally wrong. And we couldn't identify that. The problem is, we, like Trump, use the word sex and gender interchangeably, as if they mean the same thing. They don't. Now that I've given you an answer, tell me which part talks about gender, and which one talks about sex. I've given you an answer. The only thing you need to do, tell me which part talks about sex and which part talks about gender. Okay, we have a hand there.
Sorry.
Yeah, the part which talks about gender is there where it mentions two genders.
Okay.
And then the other part, which
Okay.
is about sex, is where it is mentioning male and female.
Thank you. That is the answer I was looking for at the beginning. We were supposed to say, this statement mixes sex and gender. It's making it the same thing. Now we see the problem with this statement. I hope we do. Trump used sex and gender interchangeably. And I've said this before. We also do the same thing. We also make that mistake. We use sex and gender interchangeably, as if it's the same thing. They are not. Ketters.
Could you tell me what sex and gender are then, if they?
I'm getting there.
Thank you.
So it was said that the problem with this statement is that it says only two genders. And then was said it's equals to gender. Equals to gender. Male and female. That's sex. The statement's use of gender is incorrect. So him using sex, there are only two genders, male and female. It's just wrong. I'll make an example. It's like confusing a person's nationality with their profession. Let's say in this example that sex is nationality. And gender is profession. So its nationality is typically assigned at birth. It's a biological, not really a biological criteria, but you're assigned it at birth. It can be seen as a fundamental category. American, South African. It is where you were born. You're assigned that place at birth. Well, there are variations. Variations. When we talk about sex, but we won't talk about it now. Just think as sex as nationality for this example. And gender as a profession. A profession is the internal sense of self. It's like a societal role. It's what you do and how you identify yourself, I would say that. A person can be a doctor, an engineer, an artist, or unemployed. They're not limited to just two options. Their profession is distinct from their nationality. Them coming from South Africa does not mean they have to be a doctor. Them coming from America does not mean they should be an artist. I don't know if I'm making sense. So that statement that there are only two genders, male and female, it's like saying there are only two professions, American and South African. Doesn't make sense. Imagine a person saying, as for today, it will henceforth be policy of the United States government that there are only two professions, American and South African. Those things, they are two distinct things. Now, what was he supposed to say? What is the correct statement? That's a question. Now that we identified that there's a distinction between sex and gender, I have not identified what sex is or what gender is, but just on the explanation that I made. Can you tell me what would have been the correct statement? I'll help. The correct statement could have been that as of today, it will henceforth be official policy of the United States government that there are only two sexes, male and female. That could have been correct. A bit. There's still something wrong with that. He could have been in a bit of a safe place when he said that. At least it would be at a safe track. At least he could have been on a safe track. But the statement itself, even if I fixed it, the statement itself, even if I fixed it, it's just wrong. And the reason is, we'll go back to Erica's statement. Erica said, it is scientifically incorrect. Even if you fixed it and said there are only two sexes, male and female, it will still be incorrect. Now I'm defining sex. While it is officially treated as a simple binary, male and female, sex is a multi-dimensional biological construct. Sex is a multi-dimensional biological construct with a range of varieties, primarily determined by multiple factors. I'll just name the factors. So now we're just defining sex. And I said it is treated as simple, but it's not really that simple. It's not just male and female. It's not that simple. So let's just look at the simple way first. We're looking at the biological determiners, the biological factors that determine a person's sex. The assignment of sex at birth is based on a quick check of external genitalia. But biological realities is far more, it's just bigger than that. It goes beyond that. Now, I'm not a big fan of biology. I don't really understand it much, but I try to understand this so that I can help you understand. So, when determining a person's sex, we look at chromosomes. The typical patterns are XX, which is female, and XY. Oh, sorry. It's ooh. Okay, sorry. It's XY, which is male. Remember when I said it's not that simple? There are various factors that exist. Oh. There are variations. A person can be born with XXY, or XO. So this one is known as the Turner syndrome. And this one is known as the Kilney Bielta. Oh my word. Yeah, syndrome. And these people have different chromosomal sets. This one has 2 X's and a Y. This one There is no Y or another X. It's just O. Although these are just, I'm gonna call them syndromes because they have mental problem. Not no, they get sick. Physical problems. So I'm gonna look at this one first. So a person is made of 47 chromosomes in their cells. And with this ones, it resulting in an extra chromosome, resulting in the sex chromosome of XXY. Instead of a typical male, which is XY. So I'm not gonna. I was planning on looking at the syndrome itself, but I'm not going to because I'm gonna complicate things with all the science and stuff. And people in this room look tired. People are sleeping. So I'm not gonna complicate things with science. The main thing we should get here. The main thing we should get here. The main thing we should get here. That we do not have just male and female. We have multiple. We also have intersex. Something I didn't talk about. So him just saying there are only two sexes, still wrong. Because we don't just have male and female. We have intersex. And these two things that I mentioned, these two. Sorry, technical issues. Is it okay? Is it okay? Hi. Testing. 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 Is it okay? Okay. So we're looking at. Okay. Okay. So we're looking at a statement. This one. And I asked if you see a problem with this statement. We already solved that. We fixed the statement. It still remained incorrect. And this is because of the definition of sex, which we looked at. And I'm just going to make a quick summary and say that sex is assigned at birth. Se- it is biological. So now I want us to look at gender. What is gender? That's a question for congregation. What is gender? What do you think gender is? Gobas.
So gender will be what I assign myself as. What do I see myself as?
Yes. You want to try? Okay.
From the internet, you can get that gender is the role a person takes in a society.
Okay. Yeah. So, gender. Okay. Curtis.
From what I remember, what it says on various sources on the internet, it's that it's a socially constructed term. Constructed term to describe roles. To describe roles. Roles.
Yeah, all three of you are correct. It is a social, psychological, and you said I'll use cultural. So it is all those three things. It is a social, psychological, and a cultural concept. It refers to a person's internal sense of being. You can say a person's identity, how they see themselves. We call that gender identity. I'm just going to write it down. So it refers to a person's internal sense of being. Well, sex is just assigned at birth. You have no say in it. Gender, you can say that I identify as a male. No. Sorry. You can say I identify as a man. I'm sorry. Or a woman. Or gender fluid. Or you can say agender. Or non-binary. It's how I see myself as a person. So, just to recap, not really recapping. I'm adding more information. Sorry. So, when we talk about gender, we also talk about gender identity. You can use those things interchangeably because they basically mean the same thing. So it is a neurological and psychological, which is often established at an early stage of childhood. It is independent of a person's physical body. So your gender is independent to your sex. You have different varieties of gender identities. We have cisgender, which aligns with the sex you're assigned at birth. You have transgender, which is an identity that differs from the sex assigned at birth. With cisgender, a person might be born male and then they would identify as a man. With transgender, a person might be biologically born female, but identify as a man. See how they can be both connected and disconnected at the same time. They don't mean the same thing. Curtis.
To see if I understand you correctly, I'm going to say it in my own words, and you can tell me if that makes sense. Sex is something you can't change because it's, as you said, assigned at birth. It's fixed. Then gender, society says if you do this, 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 and this, then you're that. And then I look at myself and I say, I do this, 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 and that, so I'm that.
You can also say, I look like this, so I'm also that. It's not just about things you do.
Sure. I just use that as an example.
Okay.
So in two different places,
Sorry? Okay.
the same term that you use for that gender can be different things.
I don't
Because if there's two different cultures that describe this gender thing in two different ways, so one culture says man does XYZ, but another culture says, no, woman does those things. Am I on the right track? From
Ye-
what you explained.
Yes.
Okay.
But it doesn't just end there.
Okay.
We don't just have men and women. Okay. I'm just reading my thing. Yeah. It doesn't just end there. We don't have just men and women. We have non-binary. Non-binary is a person who falls out of the traditional man and woman binary. So a non-binary person might identify as the mix of the two genders that we know. Or they can have no gender at all. They can identify with no gender. That is called being agender. And then we have another one that changes over time. It's fluid. And then we also have gender expression. Remember, when we talk about cisgender, transgender, and non-binary, all these are happening psychologically. It's how a person identifies themselves psychologically. Then gender expression is how you decide to express yourself. Let's say that I am biologically born male, and I identify as a man. Then I decide to wear dresses. That is how I express myself. That is gender expression. I haven't even began talking about sexual orientation. Sexual orientation. It's not even related to gender in a sense. So it's important for us to identify the difference between sex and gender. They are two different things. So that statement that we looked at earlier on is scientifically inaccurate, and it does not make a distinction between sex and gender. It treats them as the same thing, which you can't do. So what the right wants to do, the right wing, they want to ignore all the biological, scientific factors. The research is done. The research is done. And just say what we see is this. It doesn't matter what the science say. Which is something you can't do also. You can't ignore those things because they do exist. And we might see them on a day-to-day basis. Us ignoring that there are other genders or other sexes is something that the right wing is doing. It's ignoring all those things, pretending they don't exist. they do exist. I talked about transgender. So, so I will just make. I already made an example. Also, I said that a transgender man would be a person who was born and they were assigned female at birth, but they identify as a man. That's the trans man. So it is their sense of being, who they are, who they are. Yeah. So I don't know if there are questions before I continue. Are there questions? We have 1, 2.
Okay, I have a question on the gender. You mentioned that a person can identify psychologically, let's say as a female.
As a woman, can I
As-
fix that? A person might identify themselves as a woman. A person can identify themselves as a woman. Continue.
Thank you for that correction. If a person identify themselves as as a woman psychologically, is it possible that they express their gender differently also?
What's your question? Sorry, can you repeat the last part? I didn't get that.
Psychologically, they identify as a woman. Then in expression, they express themselves as a man. Is it possible?
That's gender expression. Gender identity and gender expression, two different distinct things. They might be connected sometimes. A man can dress like a man. Then sometimes, based on how they feel comfortable. I don't want to say a man dress like a man. I just want to say they dress however they feel comfortable as. Did I answer your question? Okay, I didn't confuse you, right? We have Liberty. Liberty.
I have a short question. You said something about gender fluid, and you said it changes over time. Can you just express the change?
Okay. So, gender fluid. Erica, thank you so much.
In the beginning, when a person found out they are different, then they might feel at, like, for instance, okay, I'm bisexual, and then later on they say, no, I'm more, say, lesbian. It changes as you grow in the
Erica.
knowledge.
Erica. Wait. Please don't continue. You're talking about sexual orientation. It's
No,
not.
excuse me, what is the discussion?
The question was about gender gender
yeah.
gender fluid.
Yes, how the people see themselves.
Okay.
And the fluidity is how they see themselves as they grow. And sometimes even the dress will show it. They can dress in male or female. It doesn't matter to them.
Thank you. Just to fix what you said a bit. Yeah. Just to fix what Erika said a bit. Okay, I'm just going to summarize what Erika said. Incorrect wording. Incorrect wording. So, a gender fluid person, they can choose to express themselves differently as time goes on. Let's just leave it there. They choose to express themselves differently as time goes on. I noticed what I did. I noticed I made a mistake. I don't know if you noticed the mistake that I made. If you did, that's great, but I'm going to fix it. If you didn't, that's great, but I'm going to fix it. I used gender expression and gender identity interchangeably too. So with gender fluid, a person can change over time how they see themselves. I think that's a fair explanation. Okay.
I've got a question. What's gender fluidity?
I'm just gonna read in the internet. So the person does not identify with one gender. They identify with different genders. And then depending on, I would say, how they feel, they might identify themselves as a certain gender. They might identify themselves as a certain gender. You're shaking your head because you don't understand what I said.
So you say that it changes. Does it mean maybe after a month or a year, I might feel like maybe I'm female, I'm male? What do you mean? I'm a bit lost there. I'm confused.
It's fine, I'll answer. I'll try answering. So, wait.
Okay, so the answer is yes. It's in simple terms, fluidity means it's not fixed. And according to examples which are given, it can change weekly. According to examples that are given, their sense of self can change weekly, monthly, it depends.
Can I? It does not mean that they are not male, female, or intersex. Their sex is fixed. Remember the distinction between sex and gender. Their sex is fixed. What changes is their gender. Are you okay now? Who else had their hand up? Oh, kisses. Okay. Okay. So, I want us to look at sexual orientation. I wasn't planning to, but I felt like we should look for it. What do you think sexual orientation is? What do you think sexual orientation is? Gobus.
That is your emotional or sexual attraction to another person.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? What do you think sexual orientation is? Okay. So sexual orientation is who you're attracted to romantically. Gender identity is who you are. Am I confusing people? If I'm confusing you, please raise your hand. If you're confused. Okay, wait. Anyone else confused? Okay, another. Is that all? Only 2 people are confused. 3. All of you. Last sentence. I was making a distinction between orientation and gender. Sexual orientation is who you're attracted to. Who you love. And then gender is about who you are as a person. How you identify yourself. Kisses.
So is sexual orientation related to the other person's sex or the other person's gender? If I say I'm a homosexual, is that because I'm attracted to male sex, or is it that I'm attracted to man gender? At least how I understood you explained it. Oh, sorry.
Can you start?
I'll start again. So I'm trying to understand what sexual orientation is in relation to the 2 terms you've defined. Is sexual orientation about your attraction to sex or to gender? For example, if I, Curtis, say I am a homosexual, is that because I'm attracted to male sex or man gender, as you described it? Is my question a bit more clear now?
It's I'm still thinking about it. Gobers.
I don't want to answer you, I just want to make it more difficult. If you look at sexual attraction, you can be attracted to a person and it doesn't matter what the sex of that person would be. That means I love this person. If it's a man or a woman, I don't care. I love the person. But what you want to know is, for instance, if I'm homosexual, am I attracted to the sex of that other person assigned at birth? And it can be both.
Sorry. Hi. Can I? Okay. Sexual orientation is about who you're attracted to. So when you're attracted to someone, you're attracted to them because of who they are attracted to. You don't really get attracted to someone based on sexual orientation. You don't really get attracted to someone based on their gender. I'm confusing you, aren't I? I'm confusing you. I'm kind of confusing myself too. So I'm just going to do a little bit of, yeah, okay. So, sex, assigned at birth, gender, your internal sense of being, how you feel about yourself, sexual orientation, who you're attracted to. So yes. Based on my explanations, a man can be attracted to another man based on their gender. Yes. I had to fix my thoughts a bit. They were a bit scattered. But a homosexual man may be attracted to another man based on how they identify themselves, which is a man also. Okay. So I'm going to point out the people who were lost. People who were lost. I just want to point them out. And tell me which part lost you. Hopefully I'll be able to help. In front. Chichi. Liberty. No, the back. The back. Oh, sorry.
You fixed where I was lost, so it's okay.
Footy. The back. Okay. Okay. The back. The back. The back. Yes. Are you still lost?
No. I'm okay, thanks.
No, Kang. Are you still lost?
Okay. Is sexual orientation fixed for everyone?
No. You want me to explain?
Okay, just summarize.
Okay. A person can identify. Okay. Sorry, let me use the pen. In sexual orientation, we have L, G, B, T, Q, I. Plus. When you're not really sure on how you identify as, you fall under the queer factor. So you might over time identify as queer. And then later on, when you've discovered really who you're really attracted to, you might move to being a lesbian, for example.
What I wanted to understand was that when you were saying someone can be attracted to someone just based on that person, I was thinking if you're a lesbian, that means you're attracted to females. You can't just be attracted to any male.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a confusion for me.
Oh, okay, okay. Sexual orientation. I would just take a leap and say that it's fixed. And the reason why people get confused, it's because it's not socially acceptable. So because of that, it's not socially acceptable. They're still trying to understand how they are feeling. I made a mistake, I'm sorry. It is fixed. Gobus.
Just to say, you're not just lesbian. It means there's also, I don't want to say percentage, it moves, and people have got different orientations or stronger. That means you can sometimes it's not just lesbian. It couldn't be in between. That means there could be attraction to a male and a female. If you go lesbian, the attraction to female is much more than any other. But it means you can be somewhere where you still have attraction to men and women.
Gobus, sorry. No. A lesbian is a lesbian and their sexual orientation is fixed. What you're talking about was bisexual. Lesbian, bisexual, different things. So that's why I fixed myself. Sexual orientation is fixed. Okay. Nokang, you okay now? Let's win at the back there.
Even for gender fluid people, is it fixed?
No. What? Wait. What? Can you repeat your question?
You said sexual orientation is fixed.
Yes.
So I'm asking if it's fixed for the gender fluid community.
So is gender fluidity fixed?
No, I'm asking if sexual orientation is fixed for the gender fluid people. I'm not sure if it.
Yes,
if-
yes, it is. I get what you're saying. Remember that sexual orientation is who you're attracted to. Gender fluid is who you are. Are you okay? What's wrong? We have 7 minutes left. What's wrong, Litine?
I think I'm just still processing and it's okay for now.
Okay, so I have a question then. On the, I'm going to call it a scale of LGBTQI plus. If the sexual orientation of the lesbian is fixed, and so with the gay part of it,
What?
the gay, LG, the G.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two are easy to describe in terms of where the attraction lies. It's easy to identify where the attraction lies. Where does the attraction lie for the Q and the I?
There was a question.
Yeah.
So your question was just summarize it.
The question is, lesbians will be attracted to women.
Uh-huh.
Gays will be attracted to men.
Yes.
What about the Q and the I? Who are they attracted to?
The I is intersex. It's sex. Yeah, just that. The I is sex. Who they're attracted to. They can be lesbian, bisexual, gay. The I has to do with the sex. I have 5 minutes left.
Intersex is when a person is born with both genitals, male and female. It has nothing to do with who they love, who they are attracted to.
What? Did you say that it has to do... I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. What did you say?
I said, intersex is you were born like that. It's you're both female and male. One genitals might be more pronounced than the other, but both are there. And it's nothing to do with your attraction or sexual orientation.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the second statement that Erica just made right now. It's correct. Different than the one that she made the first time. It's just the wording. I'm looking at the wording. Okay, so I had Jing Si, just one What's, can you give? Do you have a question?
Yeah, I'm getting confused.
Okay.
As Erica, now I want to understand the bisexual. What is the difference, intersex and a bisexual person?
Intersex has to do with their sex. Sex is assigned at birth, it's biological. Orientation is how who they're attracted to. Who they're attracted to. So it's bisexual. They're attracted to both men and women or others. Are you okay now? Curtis? Are you still okay? You okay? Okay. You're not? Okay. So I'm just going to conclude. Yeah, so the main purpose of this study was to make the distinction between sex and gender. I was not going to look at sexual orientation. Kinda caught me off guard. But the statement we looked at, it has real world implications. By failing to acknowledge the distinction between sex and gender, perpetuates a harmful narrative that lead to discrimination, marginalization, and human rights violation. It breaks or threatens the fabric of equality and justice. The statement we had, as of today, it will henceforth be official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. Is fundamentally flawed, misguided, and just scientifically wrong. It ignores the complexity of sex and the diversity of gender identities. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna finish this thought and then questions. Yeah. So, failing to distinguish between sex and gender perpetuates a harmful narrative. Ignoring science has a far-reaching consequences. And this might affect various people. Transgender individuals, non-binary individuals, or more. Recognizing and respecting the distinction between sex and gender is essential for promoting inclusivity, dignity, and human rights for all individuals, regardless of their sex or gender. By acknowledging and embracing the distinctions, we can work towards a more compassionate, understanding, and equitable society that values diversity. So it is to create a world where everybody can live without fear of persecution. I'm just going to summarize, and then I don't know if there are questions. You have 8 minutes left. You have 8 minutes left. We made a distinction between sex and gender. Two different things, often used interchangeably. They're not the same things. The one is assigned at birth. The other one is a person's internal sense of being. So gender is who you are. We also look at sexual orientation. It's who you're attracted to. With sex, we have male and female. Intersex. These ones that I mentioned here. With gender, we have gender fluid, non-binary, men, and women. Sex is fixed. You can say gender is fixed too. It is fixed. Then you have sexual orientation. Also fixed. I hope in my conclusion I did not confuse people more. Any questions? Jingsu, are you okay? You have 3 minutes left. You can ask what you want to ask. I see that you're confused. Can we have the mic? Where's the mic?
I'm trying to understand when it comes to this one who is fluid. What is it exactly that is referred to be fluid? Is it the gender or the orientation? And are they both fixed or what?
Gender fluid refers to gender. That was the first part of your question, right? Okay, so gender fluid is gender. It's not related as much to sexual orientation. What was the second part of your question?
My first question was gender fluid. What exactly is fixed? Because the gender fluid has an orientation. So between gender and the orientation, is it both gender fixed and orientation fixed?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. And then the thing was, what is it that is referred to be fluid? Which you were saying it changes. What is it that changes? If I'm not mistaken, is the one. Okay. So.
Okay. It's
Let me
fine.
start again.
It's
for you
okay.
to-
I just want to respond and then I'll tell you what she said, just before I forget. So, with gender fluid, what we mean that it's fixed is that just like a man identifies as a man and it's fixed, a gender fluid identifies as gender fluid and it is fixed. That's all I just want to say. Them being gender fluid does not make their gender not fixed. We'll talk after the lesson. Anyone else? Ketis, I saw your hand. Okay. Anyone else? Let's win. Monica.
Okay, I just want clarity. We said sex is physical, right? And then gender is non-physical. So when it comes to sexual orientation, is it a bit of both or it's the physical part of it because it's the hormones, attraction, I guess? Or it's a bit of both?
It's not a bit of both.
What is it?
It is psychological.
It's non-physical.
Yes.
Okay.
I am presenting again tomorrow. So maybe if you have your questions and I did not respond to them, or you had your question and you didn't ask it, you can write it down. And then at the beginning of the presentation, we'll look at that and then continue. So you can give me before, maybe tomorrow in the morning, so that I can look at them and be able to give you concrete answers, not just guesses. Not that I was giving you guesses. I'm just saying I just want to give you a straight answer so that you will be able to understand. So write whatever question you have and give it to me in the morning. I want to close. Just kneel with a word of prayer. Dear God in heaven, thank you for the presentation. And I hope that I did not confuse people even more. May please be with every person in this room and the people online. May you protect them and be with each and every one of them. I pray all this in Christ's name. Amen.